So business mistakes that coaches make, number 6, needing to get paid. Now, coaching is a profession and it can be an extremely well-paid profession. However, most coaches get into it. I think they think it's easier than it is going to be. You know, there's a lot of courses out there that do profess to be able to teach you how to make money as a coach quite quickly. Follow their 5-step strategy or whatever it may be to making money as a coach. Do their diploma, and they follow their formula and you'll create it. So there's a lot of noise out there about that. But having been in the world for quite some time and seen different layers of it, and having coached a lot of coaches myself, I know it is not easy whatsoever. Most coaches fail at coaching. They fail at making it a successful career, and a lot of them get into it for the wrong reasons anyway. But the ones that do get into it for the right reasons struggle for years. And a big part of that is because of this desperation when they need to get paid. If you need money, like you don't know where your bills are coming from at the end of this month, that's going to come across when you're asking people to pay you for coaching. They're going to feel your desperation, that needy energy just filters through, and it feels horrible. It comes to that moment when you've got to tell them what your fees are, and the way you describe it is going to come across badly most of the time. Even if you practice it a lot, there's something under the surface there, subconsciously, that you're emitting when you do that. It's a horrible thing. And also, actually, I'll just share with you what happened, my story with regards to that. So I quit my job in October 2014, and I'd made some money as a coach, but not a lot. Now, I left with 3 weeks' money because I'd taken too much holiday, so I had only 3 weeks' money from my job, and not really any idea of what was going to happen next. It was important for me to make that leap for personal reasons for my family. So what followed were months of not paying my bills, of really being scared of losing my house. My mortgage arrears went up and up and up until it got to January 2015, when I'd gone way over the arrears and the mortgage company put it through to the solicitors. And I remember having a conversation with the solicitors saying, if you can't make the next payment of like £800 within 7 days, we are going to take you to court for a repossession order. Now, in that moment of them saying that, in my mind, I went to court. I was talking to the judge. I was explaining the situation. And there were different options that could come from that. The judge could have understood and given more time, could have reduced payments, could have actually said, yeah, you have to. I can't see any way you're going to be able to pay this with the career that isn't happening. You're going to have to sell the house. My mind went through all those options and more. And then in that moment, I realised I'd be okay. My family would be okay. Whatever happened, we would be fine. And in that moment, it was like something just shifted, burned out of me. And that fear of losing the house was gone. Now, within 7 days, I was carrying on doing the same things. I had a few potential client sessions booked in, and someone said yes and started paying me. Now, I'd had a lot of no's up to that point. Things were just not working out. And I think it was related to my neediness around it. I don't think it was any coincidence that in the 7 days that I had to do it and I'd burned out the need for it, suddenly it shifted. And that created a momentum, it began to create momentum, which led to me by May creating a kind of freedom, like earning 3 times more than I ever had in my job that I had before that. And just the knowledge and certainty that this was for me, that this is my business and I'm never going to work for anyone again, that certainty. And it created a kind of effortless flow. It wasn't always effortless by any means, but it created a flow in my business directly related to burning that out. Now, another problem with needing to get paid is that you start looking for people who can pay you. So when you're looking for clients, when you're searching like, who do I want to coach? In the back of your mind, or even in the front of your mind, you're saying, can this person afford my services? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to look for business people, corporate people with well-paid jobs so they can pay me. It's fucking, excuse me, I'm trying not to swear. It's horrible. You know, it's gold digging, as my coach John called it. It's gold digging. You're only going to help these people because you think that they could eventually pay you, and it doesn't work like that. You know, I paid my coach thousands, and I couldn't afford it ever. But I was buying my future. I was buying my dreams, so it was worth it to me. And if you want something, if a client wants it enough, they will get creative. They will become resourceful. They will find a way. It's not up to you as a coach to care or worry about how they pay. It's the willingness to pay, to grow, to stretch. That is important. And that's really important because at the level a client is willing to stretch themselves, actually, in my experience, shows a level of development and change and growth that they can experience in their life, in their work. And so stop gold digging. Just coach people who you can make a difference to, who you want to make a difference to, people who you feel good helping, and keep proposing them to pay you the ones you want. Over time, you will get paid. But if you need it, if you're desperate for it, if you're gold digging for it, it will not happen. So stop being needy for money. Now, I coach lots of coaches, and what I recommend for some is to get a part-time job. If it's that bad, you need to earn money. Get yourself a part-time job. You should not have the need for money in your mind when you're coaching. You need to coach because you want to make a difference to people, and then invite them to pay you, and be happy whether they say yes or whether they say no. For others, I recommend putting themselves in the fire. Now, that's my edge, right? That's my bias, really. I think people should put themselves in the fire, because what you create from that, it's beyond exponential. You know, because you burn it inside yourself, something where you know there's nothing you can't do, and that can map across to your business, to your life, to everything. So my bias is for that, but I'm aware that it's not for everyone. Not everyone's ready for that kind of commitment just yet. So if you're not, get a bridge, get yourself a part-time job, stop needing money, and just help people and invite them to pay you. So just check in with yourself. Are you needy for money? Are you, when you're telling people how to pay you, are you getting desperate? Is that coming across in the way that you talk about it to people? If so, what are you going to do about it to change that? Take care.